Hello everyone. So today we will go through what are variables in Python programming. Let me share my screen. There are two types of variables. They are system defined variables and user defined variables. Before we get into this understanding what is system defined variables and user defined variables, let us understand what are variables. Variables are used to store information or data. Let's say, for example, I have written here 10 plus 20 and I got the output. Now, tomorrow also I want to calculate 10 plus 20. Again, I have to write 10 plus 20. Again, I want to calculate. So again, I have to write 10 plus 20. I have to keep doing from scratch the same thing again and again whenever I need it. Instead of this, what I'll do, I will save this information at particular location, and instead of declaring it, defining it, adding the numbers, getting the output, I will just call the already it is stored at one place. I'll just keep calling that location. Okay. So like what I can do here is I can say x equals 10, y equals 20, and z is the result of sum of two values, x and y, and I'll print the output. The sum of two numbers is z, and I'll run this. Now, whenever I want it, I'll just run z. I'll just call z and I'll get the output. So, reusability. That's what variables does. So, the here x, y, z are variables. Okay. So, variables are like containers where we can store information. Okay. Variables are like a box or container which has address. It has a reference through which you can access the value which is stored inside that box, inside that container. Let's say like, I have this box here. I've created a box. I have named it as X. I'll create another box. I'll name it as Y. And then I'll create another box. I'll name it as Z. And then you can fill it with whatever value you want. Let's say if I want to put it here 10. And then here it is 20. And then sum of these two numbers is Z, which will be 30. Right? So whenever you want 10, whether if you want in another programs also this value, you just need to call X. Whenever you want Y, you call Y. Whenever you want the sum of these two, you call Z. Okay. So these are the storage address of the storage locations of the information of the data. That is what is a variable. Okay. Now, variables are of two types. System-defined variable. System-defined variables are the variables which are declared by the system. Like your print is a system-defined variable. If, in, as, for, do, while, all these are system-defined variables which have some meaning. The system-defined variables are provided to us by Python to help us to write programs. User-defined variables are the variables which are defined by the user. These are also called as identifiers. So you can give any name to these variables, like you have seen I have given X, Y, Z. But when you are defining the variables, declaring the variables, you need to follow certain rules, naming conventions we call them. These are the rules for writing the variables. You can use all the alphabets from lowercase a to Z. You can use capital letter A to Z. You can use numbers 0 to 9. And you can also use underscore when you are naming the variables. We have to using avoid using keywords or reserved words. Also, Python is case sensitive. So we have to be careful that name is not equal to name. These are two different variables. Then don't use special characters like hash, $sign, percentile. All these have some meaning. They are system defined. They have some meaning. Okay. So what you can do is, like, you can use underscore and then you can write your variable, or you can write a variable, end it with a number, but do not start a variable with a number. This will be wrong. This is not correct. Okay. Do not start a variable with a number. You can start it with underscore and you can end it with a number. So just remember these few rules when you are naming your variables. Okay. So in the next video, we will see what are data types.